And this video is featured as a part of Cloud Storage List View Export to Excel. Now the main requirement for this challenge was to provide an Excel button which will actually export all the data according to the columns selected for the particular view list view actually created by the user. Now the very first thing user has to do is, after installing the package provided along with the submission, add one remote site which would be the domain name and the Visualforce domain as defined here. So in my case it is AP1. So the remote site URL for me would be https://c.ap1.visualforce.com. Now after this has been done, one more thing which has been implemented is, so the list views which are created and which are stored in metadata API does not actually denote the exact API name in Salesforce. So whenever we try to retrieve the metadata of list views, the column names which are actually selected are not exactly the API name. So what I have done is I have created a custom setting that is export Excel config, and it has name as the column name, that is the metadata selected name, and which matches with the value. So this has to be actually done for all the standard fields for which it needs to be, if the export functionality should work out. So this could be the case if user wants to do an export for contact and the fields added are built to maybe any address field, then check whatever is added in the field using metadata API, and then the name should be the column name which is selected in the list view and created by ID. Now let's quickly jump into the demo. So what has been done is a list view button has been added, that is export, and say if my account is the default view selected and if user clicks on export, then this list view will be exported. Now let's see what happens. Now the first thing it could do is it will actually start retrieving the metadata. Then after retrieving the metadata, it will go and parse the zip file which is retrieved from Salesforce in the form of metadata, and from that the list view will be retrieved and CSV file will be generated. This might take some time for download. Let's wait and watch. Now once package.xml is passed, then now it has actually started fetching the data after passing the metadata, and it is now creating the CSV file. Now the CSV file should start download shortly. Now one of the important things which I needed to tell is like it is using the standard set controller, so maximum number of records that can be retrieved using this implementation would be 10,000 records. If the records are more than 10,000, then it won't be downloaded. Now if you check the columns, it should match with the columns which are for the list view, that is the account site, account name, account phone, pack, type, and all other columns which are actually selected in this list. Now to give a small demo, few of the consideration would be like if the list view is actually should be seen by me, so available only for me, then export will not work because it cannot be retrieved using metadata API and it will be giving an error. Now if I select some other list view and say export, so now it will start exporting the record, and then we can go and match the number of records which are retrieved. So it has some columns, and if I open the Excel, it will match the columns. And if I go and say customize record, so the thing is, whichever list view is actually the first page, which has a standard controller to be added as list view, and then the component which is created for this is export list view has to be added in this single post page, and this is how it works. Now what has been done is the core for retrieving the metadata API has been developed by Financial Force. What they have done is actually they have implemented the metadata API using Apex. So this code has been used as it is to retrieve the metadata from Salesforce and parse the record, and after that CSV file has been generated. And this is how the implementation works. Thanks for watching this one.